Alright, so it's been almost 2 weeks since Fallout 76 was released, and I think at this point it's safe to say that this is probably the worst launch in the history of Bethesda, with reviews being bombed, with terrible controversies, with terrible glitches, and a huge backlash from the community. Now, whether or not you personally enjoy the game, that's up to you, that's subjective. I'm personally having a lot of fun with the game, but I also understand that there's a lot of room for improvement here. Now, the negative feedback and outrage is for sure affecting sales, and the UK retail sales report definitely shed some light on this aspect of the game's performance. So it comes as no surprise that because of the lackluster sales, a lot of retailers decided to offer the game at a discount, and retailers such as Amazon and Best Buy decided to give up to 50% discount on the game, and even Bethesda on their official store, online store, decided to offer the game at a discount. Now, this didn't sit well with a lot of early adopters and early supporters of the game, because it's only been, what, 2 weeks, and you can already get the game at 50% discount. And I sort of understand their position, because a lot of these people are huge Fallout fans, huge Bethesda fans, so they are the core audience, right? The early adopters are the core audience who basically stand as a foundation for the company and the game, and they decided to pre-order the game, which is something that I'm sure the core audience knows they shouldn't do, because they're probably hardcore gamers, right? They probably know that, and they went against their gut and they said, well, I trust Bethesda, so I'm gonna pre-order the game, because they promised they would have a beta. The beta was a pivotal selling point for this game, right? However, Bethesda never told us that the beta was gonna be limited to specific hours. We all thought that the beta was gonna be the commonplace beta that you get, which is just servers opened for you to play whenever you want and test whatever you want in the game. And the sad part here is that these people, the core audience, the hardcore fans, are the ones who are getting screwed by this, because now you can get the game at a 50% discount. And I think the price point is probably the most contentious part of this launch, because I think the consensus is that this is not a $60 game, that this should be a $40 game, or maybe even $30 game. And we know for a fact, this is a fact, this is not a matter of opinion, we know for a fact that the game is overpriced, because we got the report from UK retail sales, which shows that the game had lackluster sales, yet it was the game with the highest revenue because of the price point. So we can now see that GameStop is offering the game for $39, which is, in my opinion, a fair price for the game. It's a fair price for what you're getting, and if you bought the game early, then probably you paid too much. You probably paid too much, especially if you bought the deluxe edition or the collector's edition, which neither of those have a physical game. You get a piece of cardboard with a code for you to download. So I think this price is a fair price for the game, and I'm sad to see that the core audience is being basically slapped across the face, because now they can get the game for freaking $40, which is the fair price for the game. It's sad to see this, and I understand if you're mad about this. Now, a lot of people are saying that they should get something for supporting the game early, that you should get a t-shirt, or you should get some in-game reward, a special outfit or something. I feel like it's too late for that. I don't think Bethesda's gonna do any of that. And the thing is that we can't blame the retailers for selling the game at a discount. If it's not selling well, you gotta lower the price point to basically make up for it. And it seems like they're just looking out for their own performance, their own revenue, and that's just the market. It's the market, you can't control it. I understand if you're mad, but it's just the way it is, especially with Black Friday. There's just no way Bethesda has any control over whether or not GameStop or Best Buy or Amazon decide to sell the game at a discount. So the price point is definitely a sign of terrible performance. You can see this because if you look up Red Dead Redemption 2 on Best Buy, you're gonna see that they're not offering a discount for this game. Why? Because it's a good game, because it's a hot commodity, because everyone wants to play this game and sales are up. So you're not gonna offer a discount if you're making good money and the sales are going up without you changing anything. Why would you give a discount for that? So it's definitely not because of Black Friday. If it was Black Friday, they would have discounted Red Dead as well, but they didn't. So Black Friday is just an excuse to get rid of like excess inventory for this game. And at the end of the day, we can only blame Bethesda for this. I like the game, but it's impossible to overlook all the bugs that this game has, all the issues that the game has, and I feel like Bethesda sort of like used the Fallout franchise as a crutch to avoid improving the game, to avoid changing the engine, and to avoid making just quality of life improvements to this game. They thought that just stamping the Fallout brand on this game would be enough to make it sell like hotcakes, but it wasn't enough. The only worrying aspect of this whole situation is that this might force Bethesda to abandon the project and to cut their losses and just focus on Starfield and focus on the next Fallout. That would be a terrible thing for those of us who actually bought the game at full price. Even if you bought it half off, it would be a terrible thing because the promise was that they would support the game until the release of Fallout 5. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would say just cut your losses and focus on Starfield, and there's certainly an argument to be made there because they have to bring their A game for the new IP. So it's hard to say, and the sad thing is that according to Todd Howard, this game was the biggest collaborative project that they had in Bethesda up to this point. That usually they had teams working on Elder Scrolls and Fallout 4, but this was the biggest collaborative project that they had within the company up to this point, and it was a total fail from sales perspective at least. So that's a very, very sad outlook, and I hope they bring their A game for Starfield. And I'm very, very skeptical because Todd Howard said it himself. He said that they would use this engine for the next 10 years, basically, is what he said. So Starfield and the next Fallout would also be based on this engine. Now, that in and of itself is not a bad thing if they keep the core components of the engine and its basic structure and like architecture, but improve upon the aspects that need, you know, sort of like a tweak or a big tweak or a big change or a complete redesign. So the fact that they're using the same engine is not bad in and of itself, but they have to update it. The engine is not good enough in its current state. This is not acceptable. So I think there's a lesson to be learned here, and it's that you should never, ever pre-order a game. It doesn't matter how much you love the company, how much you love the franchise, the game itself. It doesn't matter how cool the trailer looks. It's always a little bit deceptive. You should always be wary of advertisement, especially in the games industry, because we know it's very, very deceptive. You know, that's why we always ask for gameplay. If you see in the comment section during presentations like E3, you always see people asking for gameplay trailers because the CGI trailers are just not good enough. You need live gameplay to see whether or not the game is gonna live up to expectations. So it's just a good practice to, you know, wait for the reviews, especially if you're tight on money. You don't want to be spending $60 in a game that's going to be discounted a week afterwards, and that's going to be rated 0 by most of the community, and that's going to be rated a solid 5 or 6 by critics. Like, that's just not good enough. So I would say if you're thinking of pre-ordering games in the future, don't. And this brings me to another topic that I kind of want to discuss in the future. Just let me know down in the comments if you guys would be interested in this topic, which is advertisement in the games industry, because I feel like there's a lot of false advertisement in the industry and a lot of focus on hyping things up beyond its real state. And I'm looking at you, No Man's Sky, and Fallout 76 and Watch Dogs and Battlefront 2, you know? So that would be a good topic to discuss in the future, and I also want to bring Fallout 76 into that discussion. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the Fallout 76 advertisement was misleading, or do you think it was false advertisement? Let me know down in the comments what you think. But anyway guys, for now that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, remember to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.